And we are back. And as I warned you, menaced you, well, PNSQC is very busy. We have a lot of friends here, and a friend from last year that I remember we were around here a year ago at PNSQC 2022. It almost feels like it was a month or two
Yeah,
ago. It doesn't
yeah,
feel like a year passed. And I have here with me Kirolos George,
yes.
very good amigo that comes from a very long distance. I was thinking we're gonna have some other friends coming by, amigos and amigas, but and a few of them I thought they were came from the farthest distance.
Yeah,
But I think you beat it, amigo. Where do you come from?
yeah. I come from Egypt,
Yeah,
almost 21 hours of flight. Yeah, but Portland is a very unique state. The nature is so nice, and the weather also.
yeah, and I have so many questions about that. But first of all, I got overexcited. Kirolos, welcome to the show.
Thank
It's a
you.
pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, thank you.
And for the people that do not know you, mind you, do you mind giving an introduction or a description of who are you, what did you do, and how did you ended up here, pretty much at the other side of the world?
Okay, so this is Kirolos George. I live in Egypt and I've been graduated since 2010
Hmm.
from Faculty of Engineering, Electrical Engineering, and the major was Communication Electronics Engineer. So I used to love the electronics chips and designing the electronics. I have started working in a well-known company in the field of the semiconductors software. We do software that help in simulation of electronic circuits. So it combined two areas of interest for me: the technology and software industry, and the semiconductors also. So I have been working there for almost 11 years
Wow.
in the field of software testing. I do manual testing and automation testing. And last year, I contributed with my colleague Marwa in a joint paper speaking about how can we automate the usability testing uh, in the field of EDA, electronics design automation industry, in the semiconductors industry.
Hmm.
We tried this knowledge and this science on our tools. And as we stated in the paper last year, we enhanced the usability of our user interface by 28%. So this is a kind of a great achievement. And it is also kind of documentation of collaborative work between the
Hmm.
developers, between the testers, and between the product engineers, you know?
And I mean, when you mentioned this, 28% was it, right?
Yes.
Some people may say like that doesn't sound like much, but for some processes and especially hardware and some of these devices, it's wow if you can improve 28%
Yeah.
one time. Some of these, just imagine if you would do that every year. In 5 years, you would have like made a huge progress. It's don't overestimate this 28% that he's mentioning on this work that they were doing, the improvement and the impact that this brings up.
Yes.
It's I think an incredible journey that you were kind of like branching
Yeah.
into. What? Well, first of all, last year that I met you here, you were also presenting, you were also bringing your paper,
Yes.
and all. But before that, have you had other presentations on the States or doing this public speaking or talking about your
Um,
achievements?
oh, yeah. It was the first time for me to come the last year to present a paper in the States as a first author. But I used to have a paper in the technical semiconductors field in 2014 in
Hmm.
a well-known conference, SPIE. It is dedicated or concerned with the lithography. How can we print the transistors on
Oh.
the silicon wafers using the latest technologies and what are the challenges? So I have contributed as one of the authors, co-authored the paper that were presented back to 2014 in the SPIE at California, San
Wow.
Jose.
So it wasn't the first time that you came to the States for
Yes,
conferences and
yes,
presenting. You
yes,
had already,
yeah,
for the people watching, a wafer are like probably you have seen these circles made out of silicon circuits.
yeah.
Look like holograms when you move them around, a little bit shiny. And those are cut into pieces. They have, I don't know how many uh, components,
There's no exact depends
the
dimension of the chip.
nanometers of
Yeah,
the
it
chips.
includes many chips according to the size of the chip, and we use different technologies. So currently, I believe the latest
3 nanometers,
Apple
right?
or iPhone is 5 nanometer technology.
5 nanometers.
The shortest dimensions that we can engrave in the silicon is a
I
five.
heard that there was a 3 nanometer announced not long ago.
I believe we in the R&D in the huge firms. I believe they are doing research on the 2 nanometer even.
Oh wow!
But I believe the productized or commercialized, I believe it is a 5 nanometer, 7 nanometer,
Hmm.
something like that.
5 and 7 are the standards that you see on your mobile devices and
Yes.
everything that we work around. Some of these wafers are super important because for the people watching, I don't know if you remember in the pandemic, there were not that many cars available, new cars,
Yeah.
because we needed some of the chips from some of those wafers and the production lines. It was super
Yes.
interesting time to
Yeah.
live. I'm sure that in the semiconductor space was also like an interesting time, right?
Yes. 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 Lots of research. What I like most in the semiconductors industry is research and doing new things regularly, as we need to deliver something new.
Yeah, it keeps
That
it keep well. I
that's
was gonna say it keeps growing, but it keeps shrinking. It keeps
yes, it
getting
keeps
smaller.
shrinking so that we can add more functionalities on the same area of the chip. You know?
Uh huh.
Yeah.
And some of these, I am curious. How did you make this leap into semiconductors, and how does it connect to QA? Because I mean, I have some ideas, but I rather have it from the source. Like, what is the how does it link?
In the world, there is simulators that we need to draw out the schematic or the electronic circuit on such simulators to ensure that the circuits will be functioning once they are fabricated.
Hmm.
So I work for a software company that do the simulators that any designers or any design houses can use and make benefit of it, so that they can ensure that their design will be working while they fabricate it in a certain foundry. You know?
Oh, this is really interesting because you are kind of doing a virtual automation of the circuit that is being tested, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
produced so that you can test on a simulation rather than
yes,
mess up the real thing,
yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Wow. And the connections. I mean, for the ones watching, this sounds to me a lot like when you create a container. You bring up a Kubernetes with an environment of what you're about to test, so that you don't break production, or you can just quickly spin it in your pipeline. This is more or less the same thing, but simulating or bringing like a container with a virtual device. I'm guessing that you
Um,
kind of virtualize the
no,
simulate,
let's
because
simulate,
it's different,
simulate.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
But this introduces us to how the our world now is transforming and stating the name of digital transformation. So this topic was the one that I did my MBA thesis. How
ah,
can digital platforms, platform is a kind of a mobile app or a website that can handle multiple parties. Digital platforms like Airbnb, like Uber, like Amazon, they need hardware to be used, like their mobile devices or computers, you
mhm,
see, and they do kind of a real-time
processing and
processing. You know, my thesis was concentrating on the freelancing. How can freelancing digital platforms contribute to the local economies for countries, and how can it reduce the unemployment for the country, and how can governments and non-governmental organizations and private sector make initiatives so that if they did such initiative, they will satisfy four goals out of the sustainable development goals, the 17 goals that were stated by the UN. You know, so I connected social science with technology, the software, and came up with a proposal for the government. I defended this thesis by the COVID 2020. So I was thinking, how can I utilize the sciences and what I learned in the MBA into a real practical way that help people that lost their jobs or have their salary cuts, so that they can find another source for income from their home. They do not need to travel. And how can countries make use of such opportunities to enhance the unemployment, reduce the unemployment rate, and offering better lives for their people.
So what I'm feeling and guessing that unemployment is a problem that caught your attention, and that you saw that you could bring some sort of solution or help
Yes.
other people to
Yeah.
deal through this. And I think it's a because I feel it coming from a country where also there's some unemployment. I'm not sure if it's easy to get over there in Egypt, like into a company that is big and technological, and the advancement is as big as probably in some other countries, and that the local people can get some job or help
Yeah.
remotely elsewhere,
Yes.
especially with the pandemic. Have you seen the systems that you propose being applied?
Yes, we have the international digital platforms
Hmm.
like the Upwork and freelancers, and there is many Egyptian youth, males and females, join such platforms. And one of the big benefits in Egypt that there is no salary gap or gap in the return between males and
Male and
females.
female? Oh.
We also have in Egypt currently local digital platforms freelancing that help the people who speak Arabic only. So it serves
Um,
the MENA region and the Arabic speaking countries, and also foreign countries that speak multiple other language can join to fill the gap of talent from the Egyptian youth. We now have technological universities in Egypt. We have very clever engineers that are capable to do the complex things, and they do not need to travel back and forth. They can make it from their own country
mhm.
and live a good life and contribute to the national economy. That's so good. And I say, and this topic is under the umbrella which is named after shared economy.
Yeah.
So we use the wisdom of crowd while we offering opportunities on the freelancing platforms, and the freelancing platforms are safe. They can ensure that you will get a payment as long as you did the work that pre-agreed upon. You know.
That yeah. That no both parties get what they are looking for, and that
Yeah.
everything flows. I
Yes.
have had give provided services through these platforms, people per hour, Upwork.
Yeah.
There's a third big one I can't remember right now, and I have requested some of those services. Right at this moment, I'm waiting for some work to come back to me. I think this person, I think it's from Arab origin, living in the UK, and it's providing services
Yeah.
to someone in Mexico that right now it's in Portland. And it's crazy how all these connections can help, because as well, I think for locals that the currency, probably
Yeah.
the what they earn is very good.
Yes. After we have a conversion rate from euro or US dollar to the Egyptian pound, it will be a good income or good return. And also there is a human reason behind this. If you hire through digital platform, you can help marginalized people to work.
Yeah.
You can help seniors to work. You can help someone who is looking for a job but he cannot apply his skills in his small circle. But when there is an opportunity over any of the digital platforms, you can tap into the unutilized skills from all
Hmm.
over the world. You know, for example, for India, they have a platform dedicated for women
Oh,
to
cool.
empower women.
And
You know,
work related
yes,
or?
work related. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
freelancing digital platform for women.
That's really good.
You know,
Because, and is it related only to technology or all sorts of graphic design or writing or
honestly, I don't remember, but I believe it is not only technology,
general?
general. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because on one hand, I was thinking that it was really cool because if it was only technology, because it will foment or propel women to kind of get more in the field, and but at the same time, it sounds like the gender gap in terms of one earnings and on
Mm.
the other knowledge or STEM areas. Sounds like in Egypt it's also very
Yes,
lots
yes,
of women in tech.
yeah,
Amazing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's really good.
Yes,
And all those skills would be sad that they are wasted. And what you are bringing to the table is that this can be shared, can cross borders. And before we switch, because a lot of the audience probably are looking for opportunities, trying to get some job
yeah.
or these freelance gigs or ways to cross borders. What would you recommend to people watching? What message would you give them to embrace better these
Yes, I would
opportunities?
recommend for everyone who listen to us now to just get a paper and write down what areas he or she are clever at, even if this area is not related directly to the certificate or the degree that he or she earned,
Oh, that's yeah,
so that you can make return out of your passion.
yeah.
You know, for example, we have a case study about the Philippines. The government there do lots of initiatives, so they have a good market share of the call centers and customer service industry. They have hired or they have found the work through the digital platforms for up to 2 million Filipino,
Wow.
contributing to a huge number for the local economy. They have an English language very good there in Philippines.
Uh huh.
So you can use your language, you can use your talent, you can use your if you deliver educational content, this is an opportunity. If you make voiceover, if you make translation,
If you know languages, that's another one that.
yes, yes. I have a friend for mine. He is based in Hollywood. He do music editors and compose new tracks for people in Europe, European countries. So you know we are now all connected, and digital platforms not only the freelancing. There is the ones like the Uber one. If you have a car and you can drive, you can go with your car. The Airbnb, if you have an
An extra room
extra
or
room, you know.
it
So
there are so many advantages, and as you say, if you have a skill, regardless of if you think it's who cares that I know, I don't know how to kind of like get a string and get
yeah,
build a sweater. Well, that's important because knitting, well, if I would say get a YouTube channel on knitting, probably there's going to be an audience for that. Give classes on that because it's a good therapy. I'm just going through that example, but there are so many things that if you feel like you're good for that,
yeah,
you can motivate people. You can be a coach for people that.
definitely. And I would say that no one starts big.
Yeah, you
You
gotta
know,
build it.
we sometimes accept people. When I do the research, I found that people in many countries accept to do the first couple of jobs for free, so that they can build their portfolio and their review, so that after that they can raise the hourly amount they
Rates and
can. Yeah, yeah,
and you are recommending this crossing borders through digital means,
yes,
but at the same time, I have you here in person. Like you didn't virtually cross the border; you did fly through that border. What what propelled you to like send papers and things to these conferences, to these places in the US or elsewhere in the world,
Yeah.
and get out of Cairo, is your
Yes.
home city, and saying like, yeah, I'm flying out of Cairo and I want to go and present at Portland, Oregon, of all the places in the world, right? How how did that came in your radar, like to get out of your country and say like, I'm gonna try?
You know, we are always in comfort zone,
Yeah,
cannot achieve more.
yeah, that's
So
true.
going outside to get to know other people with different culture, to understand their perspective. I do love research, so I see that contributing to a community that gather engineers from all over the world, from different nationalities, different cultures, to network with them, to know what is trendy about the industry, to
Mm-hmm.
learn from their experiences. All these are huge benefits you cannot easily get when you stay in your place.
Yeah.
So
So for you, it was just I want to get out of my comfort zone. And
yeah,
were you collaborating with the community here, or?
I just have this year a poster paper about the how software organizations can enhance their user experience using UX maturity models, and how can they choose the best maturity models that fits their environment and their skills and their current state.
That was your presentation earlier, right? As well,
Yes,
the talk
yes,
that you
but
did.
I have a poster paper tonight with more details on the characteristics that can be used in order to assess which maturity models fits my case, and I can use it to enhance my user experience, delivering a high usable products and services.
And for the record, for the people that do not know, here PNSQC is a different conference because every year they ask papers from the presenters,
Yeah.
and you get to write something that goes through several revisions, and it's put in a book, and you can buy the whole book of our papers, everything that Kirolos just mentioned. You can go out and read it and have a blast, like experiencing. And not only that, from previous years, you can get the
Yeah,
book from 2022 and so on. I think this conference has been around 30 years,
yeah.
31, no, 40 years.
40, 40,
Yeah,
40.
this
We
year,
are at 41, right?
yeah, we last year was the 40th anniversary. Right now it's 41. There are 40 books out of papers of presenters and people like
Yeah.
Kirolos bringing these super interesting bits of information and knowledge components.
Yes.
How did you go to UX from silicon-based chips and all these things? That's
Yes.
an interesting transition.
Yes, my direct manager Reem has asked me one time that we need to explore how can we enhance our UI usability. So I started to learn about the user experience from the resources over the internet and the platforms like Coursera and edX.
Oh, cool.
I have earned a certificate from the ISTQB for
Hmm.
usability tester, and
Cool.
I started to share this knowledge within our teams so that we build the knowledge, you
Uh-huh.
know. After that, we apply what we have learned on our contexts, and it was so useful. And I see it is so practical as it have hand on hand the technology and software with the leadership and management and business side. How can we do research to understand well our customers so that we can
Huh.
deliver a high usable product that they love to use and they would recommend others to use it also.
That's I love this attitude that you are showing because even being from afar, it didn't stop you. Like, I don't know UX, I don't know how to test for usability. Okay, let's go on Coursera. Let's go and get certified on the ISTQB section for that. Because yeah, the ISTQB is also huge, and you can learn all sorts of things over there. But what I am certainly amazed of what you're showing is this determination,
Yeah.
like because several times I like, yeah, I don't know this, I don't know the topic, so I'm staying away from it. And you were like, no, I'm gonna learn it. I'm gonna get good at it, even certified in it.
Yeah,
And that attitude, of course, has helped you to cross borders and to end up here
yeah,
and get your paper not only selected, but earlier this morning, at the opening, before the keynote, before anything, this gentleman was requested up there in the stage for something he did last year as well.
yes.
Mind sharing, what did you do
Yeah,
last
sure.
year? What was this prize?
Sure. This prize was, I was selected by the attendees for the PNSQC 2022 to be selected out of the three best speakers. And I've been invited this year by the PNSQC committee to come and deliver a presentation.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking how to deliver a content that is useful for the attendees, not only technical or oriented to technicality also, but how to show how this reflect on business and
Uh-huh.
how this reflect on the social life of people. So that is why I choose the topic of UX maturity models. How can organizations and teams that work in software organizations make use of this science to deliver good usable products and services, and how they can understand their customers well, especially nowadays we are most of the companies are targeting multiple segments, and
Yeah.
we have multiple generations nowadays, the X generation, the Y and Z, and each generation has their own characteristics. So we need to consider that we speak to the Z generation with a unique way rather than the Y generation. We
Mm-hmm.
need to offer tools for the Z generation that comply with their characteristics that are completely different from the Y and X generation, you know?
And I think you bring very good points with generational gap in technology. Not gap, but different perspectives.
Yes.
Some people from, as you were saying, maybe baby boomers or Generation X, that, well, I rather have stuff printed.
Mm,
And some millennials maybe like, no, just in the mobile device, I can have it, blah, blah. Some exennials, the newest, like, I want it on TikTok. And
oh yeah,
that's what
yeah,
the devices and how they rather work better. And also, I would say there are some international differences. I know in Japan, some things, the web pages are very different from how we have them here. They are full of text. And in Egypt, do you write in the same direction that here in the States?
we write from
Right to
right to
left,
left.
right? So even that way on usability makes a
Yeah,
big difference.
yeah,
On
yeah, yeah. This is what we name in technicality localization.
uh-huh.
How can you localize the product for a certain area or certain geography, using their keywords, using their colors, understanding what color mean has what meaning, you know?
Because there are some things that, as an example of some regions, I know weddings have to be. I think it was in China that had to be dressed in red.
Yeah, maybe.
And here is like, I guess in China. No, don't quote me on that. I
Yeah.
might be wrong. And here it has to be white. And
Yes.
some other, I remember there was one version of a cell phone that I like a lot, OnePlus, and they skipped one number because that was,
Yeah, it
I think
was.
it was number 4.
Yeah, I believe so. It means die or dead or something
It's a
like that.
bad omen, that number,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
skipped it altogether. Here in the States, you won't see hotels with the 13th floor. They skipped from 12 to 14 because it's a bad luck number, and things like that. That is interesting to wrap around testing efforts that you have to do
Yeah.
for those ethnical, cultural, generational differences. That's a it
Yeah.
is very, very interesting. I
Yes.
understand why you won that prize last year. And last year you also gave a talk, right? Based
Yes.
on that paper.
Yes. Yes. It was related to the paper, presenting
Mhm.
the paper. But this year I am invited to speak, and me and my manager Reem, we have wrote the poster paper, which is in the same topic but with much details.
Huh. But expanded, to call
Oh
it
yeah.
in a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And now ramping out a little bit, ramping down from this conversation, I also want to share with the audience. Kirolos came here he didn't come alone. He was really really kind, and I was gonna tell him like, say you can greet people back home and say hello to your mom.
Oh yeah. Hi, father. Hi, Christine. Hi, Mina. Hi, mom.
But when he says hi mom, he may be looking over there because
Yeah,
she's here. She come here with him
yeah,
to like support, right? You
yeah. She
know,
accompanied me in this trip to support me and to first time to come into technical
events.
event. So she enjoyed it a lot. And his first visit to Portland, first time to Portland.
Oh,
So she enjoyed the nature and the weather. It's so nice place. If you didn't go, if you didn't come to Portland, I you are missing a lot.
no, and I think it's also beautiful that on one hand you kind of were able to bring her for her to experience what her little boy
Oh
is
yeah,
doing in the stage and all
yeah,
that. And as well, I have experienced that, like with this determination that you show, learning and saying, like, no, I'm gonna read about this, I'm gonna get certified, I'm gonna do more stuff. That you as well got a chance to bring her, and
oh yeah.
right?
They are the ones that who raised me up and have a huge effort so that I can reach to what I am currently. So
She's
I am
responsible.
grateful for
Mm.
that, and it's time to return back all the effort.
Hey, mom, I'm gonna bring you here to Portland.
Yeah,
Thank you for everything. That's
yeah,
that's beautiful as well.
yes, yes.
And any other thing coming in the horizon for you? Are you planning to present more or give some more talks or?
Um, I am currently concerned how can youth find opportunities
Hmm.
and how can high school students choose their area of interest to learn so that they can find a proper job with a good return when they finish the college or university. So this topic is I'm concerned with.
Of your interest?
Yes, yes.
Are you gonna present about it? Do you have another event?
No plans, no plans for
Not
that.
yet.
But I'm reading content on the new opportunities for example, the green economy opportunities
Oh yeah,
and
that's
what
very
kind of
important as well.
jobs and skills that it needs so that youth can prepare for such coming opportunities. And it is all over the world. The World Economic Forum has released a report about the future of jobs last May 2023,
Uh-huh.
and they stated that due to the change in the climate, there will be multiple jobs that will disappear, and
And many others will appear because
due
of
to the
that.
green economy
Yeah.
will be coming or generated. Also, the recession that affects the whole world will contribute to decrease of some job opportunities. So nowadays we are on an era that we need to reskill, to learn new skills so that we can be able to find a good job opportunities as the era when we transformed from the agriculture to the industrial, you know
And
when the
now
industrial era.
we're right now in this industrial, but with AI, climate
Yeah,
change, and all the
yeah,
things that we're having, I think this new, I don't know how to name it. I think it's not it's, called the knowledge area, the information era,
yeah,
not industrial anymore.
yes,
And let's see. And I love your recommendation. People, stay on top of your skills, keep learning, do as Kirolos, as it will take you places. You will cross borders. I love the example that this man is bringing on himself, bringing his mom, bringing everything. And if anyone wants to get in touch with you and
yeah,
ask you about these platforms, about your papers, about your
sure.
research, where can people find you online?
They can find me on LinkedIn. My name is Kirolos George. We can tag.
Down there is you will see under Kirolos. There's a text
Yeah,
floating in front of you. Sorry.
yeah. You can see the link for the LinkedIn account. You can reach out and you can send messages, and I will be happy to help. And anyone from any generation X or Y or Z, I am would be happy to help. As you know, we all brothers and sisters in this world, and it is good to give rather than to take. So I feel blessed and so happy when I give more than I take.
I can tell. I notice. But for Generation Y and Z, probably you gotta get into TikTok.
Oh
LinkedIn
yeah,
might not
oh
be
yeah,
the best platform, but I'm
yeah,
just kidding. I
yeah.
haven't gotten there as well. I'm not sure if I will be able to. But Kirolos, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much for this nice interview.
It has
Thank
been
you
a
for
pleasure.
all the audience that checked this video, and hopefully I can help any of you. I would be happy to do so.
Yeah, this man is gonna give you so many tips, so many indications what to do. He's a rock star for this,
Thank
and
you.
seems like he has been rocking it. Thank
Thank
you
you.
again, Kirolos.
Thank you so much.
There you have it. PNSQC 2023 day one. We're still rocking it with lots of awesome people from all over the world. I have some other people around here that also come from some very varied locations. So this is not just a regional conference, even as it's considered as.
Yeah.
We have people from all over the world, lots of experience, lots of perspectives. So stay tuned because this day is not over yet, and we're gonna have so much more fun. So with that, Leandro out. I am gonna be starting the outro for this. And okay, we're ready. Leandro out, Kirolos out.
Right.
Adios. How do you say goodbye over there?
Salam.
Salam. Okay,
Salam.
I can repeat that one. Salam, everyone.
Salam is peace.